Red line logbook here to finally finish off my Danmachi ranking system. Oh wow, this is part 3, so if you haven't seen the other 2, go check them out. But here we go, starting at 29. We have Elta. Elta is the vice captain of the Ganesha Familia. She's a red-headed Amazon, and she's a level 5. We don't really see her do much other than take part in the wrangle up of the Zenos on floor 18. So she's strong to take on the Zenos, that's for sure. The thing is that after that, it's taken out by a Minotaur. And then, well, she doesn't really show up much in the story, which is why I have her the weakest of the level 5s. Oh, by the way, there are actually 11 level 5 members in the Ganesha Familia. Thing is, we only know the names of 2, so the other 9, I'm not even going to rank them. I'm just going to say, I have no idea. At 28, we got Phryne. Phryne is the former captain of the Ishtar Familia. And the thing about her is that based on her stats and combat ability, we know that she's basically one level weaker than Eyes as a level. What I mean by that is, when Eyes was a level 3, she fought to a standstill against Phryne when Phryne was a level 4. So basically, at a level 5, she'd basically be on par with a level 4 Eyes. Is basically what Phryne is, because even with level boost, she still got her ass kicked by Eyes without her wind, and then completely stomped out by Bet when he got the full moon. But she's still a level 5, and she still has actual feats in the story. At 27, we got Tsubaki. Tsubaki's the captain of the Physis Camellia, and she's also a level 5. The thing about her is that she's really into making weapons, but then she's really into testing them out, which is how she ended up becoming a level 5, because she would just keep going into the dungeon over and over again, risking her life to see how strong her new weapon was. She once one-shot at a Goliath. That happened. Which shouldn't be surprising. Like, a level 5 should be able to one-shot the boss for the middle floors. If she couldn't do that, then she couldn't possibly be a level 5. But what makes her really special is that when she was with the Loki Familia in level 42, she was able to actually survive 2 major attacks from a demi-spirit. One, the fire attack, and then the earth attack. In fact, she even used her body as a shield to protect some of the weaker members of the Loki Familia from the earth attack. So she definitely can take a beating. And after that, she then decided to do her duty and take on the monsters that were back up so the Loki Familia can finish off the demi-spirit. So yeah, she's reliable, strong, also a little crazy. At 26, we got Valetta. Valetta is a crazy bitch. She's a member of the evils, enjoys killing, enjoys torturing, an awful person. But what makes her a cut above the rest is the fact that she has a specific magic where she creates I guess you call it a magic web on the ground. And the more you move around inside of it, the more it saps your strength, speed, and everything about you. So basically what she do is she will basically trap you inside of it like a spider, and she will consistently move around. You get drained of all your strength, and then finally do a final blow on you. This would have worked on Bet if it wasn't for the simple fact that he literally can absorb all magic, including magic like hers. She definitely was the biggest threat the evils had in their organization at the time, at their height. At 25, I got Bell. Bell might be a level 4, but because of all of his base stats being as high as they are, he's on par with a level 5, 100%. I mean, he was able to cut Jaime in a one-on-one training fight. Admittedly speaking, he only was able to do a drop of blood, but still, there's no way he's on par with even a level 4, because some of the strongest level 4s are in Freya Familia, and he actually was stronger than all of them. Like, he even beat 4 of them at once. That's how powerful Bell is. He was just so powerful that the upper class of the guild of the Familia had to be his training partners, because he just was too good for everyone else. Bell is just a monster. And no, I have not read volume 18 yet, if you're all wondering. It's not in English, so I can't read it. 24, I have Olivia. This guy is technically a level 3, but after being turned into a creature and eating enough magic stones, he's on par with a level 5. What separates him from everyone below him is the fact that his body is just hard. Like, the guy can take hits from swords and such pretty easily. You have to have a specific blade, like adamantite or like the Hestia knife, to even be able to cut through his hardened body. Like, kind of insane just how near indestructible the man is. No joke, the guy was on par with Bet back when Bet was a level 5. That's just how tough this guy is. At 23, I got Dix Pernix. Dix is probably one of my favorite villains. He's a fantastic character. But what makes him as strong as he is the fact That one, he's ruthless. In fact, he's psychopathic to the point where he enjoys torturing people. And so he makes sure to have a spear that's also cursed. So when you get cut by it, you bleed a lot. Combine that with the fact that he also has a curse, which then allows him to basically turn you into a raging beast where you lose your mind. To put in perspective how powerful this guy is, when he activates the curse, it weakens him to a downer level. So a level 4. Bell was a level 3 at the time, and Leo, who's level 5, but he was cursed, was still having to tag team against Dix to take on a level 4 Dix. Yeah, seriously, the man's base stats are just that high, where he could just... Oh, and his combat experience and combat knowledge is also very high. The man was able to bait Bell by making Bell think he was being baited, and so he almost killed Bell because of that. So he always thinks while he's fighting. At 22, I have the captain of the Ganesha Familia, Shakti. So Shakti is another level 5, but she has some of the most raw experience as a fighter and as an adventurer, period, because she was one of the champions of the Dark Age. So when Evils was running amok, Shakti was basically one of the frontliners, always taking them on head on, because Ganesha Familia is basically the police force of Aurora. So basically, she was always on the front lines, always fighting, always protecting people, always doing what was needed to be done. And because of that, she also was targeted constantly by assassins and such. In fact, Anna Kitty once took a job trying to kill Shakti. It obviously didn't go well for Anna Kitty. She ended up becoming the prey in that instance. In fact, one of my favorite images comes from the manga, where it shows basically Shakti just walking towards Anna Kitty as she's basically running for her life. Shakti is 100% probably one of the strongest level 5s in all Aurora. In fact, I might even be lowballing her by putting her this low on the list. But I kind of have to, because the last of the level 5s are at ranking 21 is the Gulliver Brothers. Yeah, all 4 together. Each one's a level 5, but when they fight together, they're basically a level 6. And they always fight together no matter what, because they basically have this near psychic link where they all know what each other is going to do, and so they know what they need to do in a fight. Together, they can basically take on any level 6 out there. Period. And even have a chance of winning. They're the only group of level 5s that can actually do that. Don't get me wrong, they have fought separately before, like in the Familiar Chronicles Freya, where they each took on an army of 20,000, north, south, east, and west, and so they fought by themselves. Primarily speaking, they will always fight 1-on-4 against another opponent together. Like, it's just who they are. They don't really fight separate. It's just not who they are. And so you basically have to treat them as one person. And as one person, they basically are a level 6. At rank 20, we got Bocce. Bocce is an Amazon from a kingdom where they have rituals where they fight to the death. And that's basically their way of leveling up, is by killing another Amazon who's either equal to or even stronger than themselves. And basically, to get to a level 6, Bocce had to have killed dozens, if not over 100 of her kin. So when it comes to pure experience in fighting, yeah, she probably is probably one of the best, because she just was literally fighting the moment she could walk. Starting with monsters, but then slowly leveling up to killing other humans. It's absurd just how brutal their homeland is. And she actually has a pretty powerful ace in the hole, where she's able to coat her body in this basically acid-like poison that even if it doesn't kill you instantly, which it would for most people if they're at a low level, it will slowly drain you of your strength, and it causes extreme godly amounts of pain. It's kind of like the poison of a insect that basically, once it gets into your flesh, it will burn and sting, and you will go fucking insane. You basically have to have an indomitable will to be able to just handle it. Speaking of an indomitable will that can handle such poison, at 19 we got Toyona. Toyona actually beat Bocce in a one-on-one fight, because quite simply, the girl's a style of fighting that is very straightforward, where she just punches really fucking hard over and over again. She also has 2 pretty powerful skills. One is Berserk, where the angrier she gets, the more powerful she gets. and another one that kind of like burns through her power source to increase her strength even further. Basically, she's just straight power is who she is. When it came down to it, in a hand-to-hand fight, even I said she could not beat Tayona because she's just that physically strong and relies so much on just brute fucking force. At 18, I have Tayona, her big sister, and she's very much the same way, very similar abilities. She has the Berserk, but she also has another one which even maximizes her power even greater the more damage she takes. Basically, hit her and she gets stronger, basically. She's an absurdist being. The reason why I put her over her sister is it's not much, but quite simply, her durability is absolutely absurd. Like, the woman was pushed to the point where she was literally losing blood in a fight and just kept going. The only thing that could stop her, of course, was Finn's voice, because she's in love with him. But the point is, once she loses it, she's basically an unstoppable force. At 17, I have Organa. Organa is actually Bocce's older sister. And, the girl is fucking psychotic. Well, she was until Finn beat her, and then she became all lovey-dovey. She also has many Amazon skills where she, trained fighting monsters as an infant, and then moved up to murdering tens of, not over 100 people, to become a level 6. Also, her skill, she drinks people's blood and becomes stronger. Which is why I said Tayona was losing a lot of blood, because she literally was fucking sucking Tayona dry the entire fight. So yeah, even if she gets weakened, she just has to just drink your blood, or really anyone's blood, and she gets her strength back. It's almost infinite power she has. It's kind of bullshit in many ways. At 16, we got Bet. Bet is the fastest member of the Loki Familia. He is all combined with his base stats and the fact that he has a bunch of skills that also increases speed. The guy is a moving missile, basically, when he kicks you. Also, he has two more things other than his speed on his side. One, he has his magic, which is absurd. His magic allows him to absorb other people's magic, turn it into a flame, and then he can just cook you alive. Here's the thing. Unlike other people's abilities, which do have a capping limit, his does not. There is no limit to how much magic he can absorb, which means there's no limit to how powerful his flames can get, which means the guy can kill anything and anyone an infinite amount of heat. And two, during a full moon, like all werewolves, he rages out and becomes even more powerful. I will say the full moon thing is once again conditional, like only at night, once a month. Magic, he can do it anytime he wants. He doesn't like using his magic, but when he does use it, he's a flaming werewolf. Good luck surviving that. So at 15, I got Handeen and Hogni together. Main reason for this is the fact that the two of them actually did fight one another to the death, and for like 3 days straight, they tied. There was no conclusion to their fight. They're complete equal to each other. That's how they've always been portrayed, and even though they hate it and they don't want to be seen as each other's equals because they hate each other, but that's just how it goes. They're both basically magic swordsmen. Handeen, the white elf, relies mostly on his magic, but still has sword fighting. And Hogni relies more on his sword fighting, but of course, he has a specific magic which completely changes his personality, which makes him even more of a fearsome fighter. He's an odd one. The point is that the two of them are basically equal with each other. In fact, they are equal. There's no changing it. At 14, I have Alan. Alan is the fastest adventurer in all Oreo. And when I say the fastest, I mean the guy moves so fast that he caused a sandstorm in the desert, which was able to suck people up and launch them around. In fact, the people he were fighting mistook it for some kind of like wind magic. And while I haven't read volume 18, my guess is him and Bet probably had a fight, which I really want to read that volume. At 13, I got Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia used to be the captain of the Freya Familia until she finally retired. She was the person that was so strong that Artur basically would try to chase after her to beat. He consistently tried to beat her. In fact, when he finally made it to like level 4 or 5, she retired, and he basically begged her to stay on because he hadn't beaten her yet. He had to prove himself that he was worthy of being the new vice captain by beating the retiring captain. But as a giant dwarf, the woman, and a level 6, the woman is something else altogether. Like, she was able to run up on Ryu and pin her down before she could lift her head. Yeah, I know, that's insane. And she wasn't even trying. She was just messing with Ryu to shut her up. At 12, we have Uro's current strongest mage, Rivera. Other than the fact that she's a level 6 and the fact that her magic always was level S when she leveled up, she also is referred to as 9 Hell. The reason for this is because everyone only has 3 spell slots. The thing about Rivera is that she also has 3, but she has a skill that allows her to combine her different spells. She has to chant them longer, but this doesn't really matter because alters the spell in a way. She basically has a total of 9 spells. Kind of bullshit. We've only seen a few, but she can create a barrier, she can use healing magic, she can use fire that can annihilate everything, and she has ice that can completely turn even the most powerful monsters into brittle statues. The other 5, I have no idea what they are, but I'm guessing they're all super powerful and they will kill you. Oh, and she also has a rare skill that slowly puts her mind back, her magic pools back up while she's still using her magic. Most people actually have to rest without using any magic whatsoever for a period of time for their magic to recover. It automatically does it while she's still fighting. At 11, I have Garth. Garth is the strongest member, physically, of the Loki Familia. The man once carried a galleon that was destroyed with one arm. He also killed a bunch of fire dragons and wyverns while using another dragon. He grabbed it by its tail, spun it around, used it as a club to beat the other dragons to death with, then chucked it at a bunch of wyverns that were in the air, killing them in the process, while embedding the dragon's head that he tossed at the wyvern in the fucking wall. It is said that his fists are like sledgehammers, and that if he hits you with them, it is not being punched, it is being crushed. At number 10, we got Finn. Finn has brains, technique, skill, everything you need to be a warrior. He made sure to make himself basically the perfect symbol of the Prums. Funny thing is, even though he is this way, the skill he ended up getting was one that turns him into a berserker, where he loses his mind in exchange for increased power or speed, strength, and all that. So even though he built him up to himself to be a certain way, his own blessing is basically telling him that he's going on the wrong path. He kind of learns this later on in the story, but that doesn't really matter. The point is, Finn, as a warrior, is probably near perfect. I say near perfect because there are those who are still stronger than him. For example, at 9, our first level 7, Zard. Zard, a former member of the Deus Familia, who is known as the Predator. Now, the reason for this is because the guy wasn't just super powerful, he wasn't just super strong, he had a skill where if he consumed the flesh of anyone or anything, monster, human, or whatever, he would gain more power. In fact, he'd basically steal their power. To put this into perspective, the Zard that fought in the Astrea Record novels was actually the weak version, because he was currently dying. Because to kill the behemoth, one of the 3 great quests, he consumed the poisonous flesh of the behemoth. And as a result, his organs were literally melting until the day he died. The man was a real badass. Okay, for number 8, we got Otter. Otter actually beat Zard. While Zard was in this, of course, weakened state, and this is actually what led to Otter becoming a level 7. This is the moment where Otter surpassed everyone in all of Aurorio. And the crazy thing is that we actually got to see what his base stats are as a level 7, in the Freya book, and everything is maxed out. He's got all S's except for his magic, but he doesn't use his magic very often. That's still pretty high. I think it was like a B or an A. So yeah, he's a level 7 that is maxed out. Level 7, that is absurd. Of course, it has been 7 years, so in all that time, of course, he's going to eventually max out, even though he is a level 7. But he is currently waiting for his next great opponent that will allow him to ascend to a level 8. I don't see that happening, but still, he's there, he's ready. He just needs someone strong enough. At number 7, I got Revis. Revis is a red-haired creature, and the creature is basically a human-monster hybrid. She fucking insane person. Rivera, Finn, and Garth working together were her equal. And that isn't even at her strongest, because she, after that, then gets even stronger, which is absurd when you think about it. And you're wondering, how does she get stronger? Well, what she does, she has the demi-spirit for more power. What she does, she basically infuses her hand in the green substance of this demi-spirit, and then a green flesh wraps around her body, embeds itself into her body as well. It causes both her pain, but also increases her strength, speed, everything incredibly. Flesh armor that gives her a boost in power. That's basically what it is. At 6th, we have Filmus. Filmus is a creature as well. She's surprisingly actually stronger than Revis. The thing about her is that she actually has a spell where it splits her into 2 parts in half, and each half has equal power, and they're both level 3s. So when she combines them, she becomes a level 7 monster. And because she's an elf, she also isn't just good at sword fighting, she also has insane levels of magic power, which puts her above even Revis, who is solely a brute force kind of person. In 5th place, I have Althea. Althea is an interesting one because she used to be the strongest mage in, well, the world in her time. She has the power to control sound. The way it goes in Danmachi is the longer the spell, the more powerful it is. She has a one-word spell, just like Belle does, because she's his aunt, called Gospel. That's all she says. She just says Gospel. But this spell is still on par with basically Rivera's, one of Rivera's spells. And what's even more insane than that is that she also has a long cast spell. And this long cast spell was so powerful, it killed the Leviathan. Yeah, that's right. She killed one of the 3 great quests with a single spell. So yeah, you can see the difference in power between her, the greatest spellcaster, and the current greatest spellcaster, Rivera. She's just that much more powerful. In 4th place, I have Eyes. Eyes is a level 6, and you're probably wondering why is a bunch of level 7s weaker than a level 6? The simple reason for that is Eyes has a special skill which allows her to basically boost all of her stats when fighting against a monster. The thing is, it's also a mindset kind of skill, where if she sees her opponent as a monster, even if they're not, she can still tap into its power and become even more powerful. So if she sees another human being as a monster, she actually can use this skill against them, and she becomes vastly more powerful. She's the most powerful human in all of Rivera at the moment, or any adventure at the moment. The thing is, Eyes would never use this skill against a human, so that's why she'll never be seen as number 1 in fighting another human, but she does have the power to do it if she wanted to. In 3rd place, we have the former captain of the Zeus Familia. He's known as the Supreme. His name is unknown. All we know is that he's the captain, and he was also a level 8. That's really all I can give you about him. And in number 2, we have the former captain of the Hera Familia, also known as the Empress. She's a level 9. Once again, we don't know her name, but yeah, a level 9. Highest level character we've ever had in the entire series. And then, in 1st place, the strongest adventurer in all of Danmachi's history is Albert Wallenstein, Eyes' father. Both the Zeus and Hera Familia, with their level 10 and 9 captains and other members who are like level 7 and such, were decimated by the Black Dragon. Albert, single-handedly, by himself, was able to wound the Black Dragon, taking out one of its eyes. That's why it's referred to as the One-Eyed Black Dragon. Albert is the only adventurer who's ever been able to do that, and he is confirmed to be the strongest, period. Even though he never had a blessing from a god, he is, without a doubt, the absolute pinnacle of adventures. Albert is such a hero in the Danmachi universe. He's so powerful that in the Bridge of Heroes, there are statues of heroes on this bridge, each on one side of the bridge. Everyone has a statue on one side or the other, except for Albert. Albert stands alone, facing an empty spot, because the only one who can declare himself equal with Albert is the one who can defeat the Black Dragon. He's the only person who can stand across from Albert, the greatest adventurer. Okay, there's my list. Took 3 different videos and so much time, but I'm glad I finally was able to finish it. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you can enjoy more Danmachi and other anime things. Thank you and have a great day.